Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 22nd edition of Things I Learned. I'm your host, Lorenzo. I know it's been a while. I've been off. I've been busy. A lot of things happening. We were out of town for Baton, had football camp 1 week. So it's just been busy. I know the big show is also missing. So I was gone for those as well. Kind of took a couple weeks off. A lot of things were happening. So now we're back. I am live for this one. But last time I was live, it was more like, hey, let's go through my emails. But I kind of don't like that. I mean, I do, but I like it. And my listeners have told me too, they like it when it's more personal. Like, here are the things that I learned. And I think there's time for the email ones too. So we'll do those at some point. But this is 5 Things I Learned, episode 22, freshman football edition. So here we go. Number 1, time commitment. So a couple episodes back, I don't remember if it was the big show. I think it was, where I had told everyone that I was the freshman head football coach, which I have done in the past few years. I was the head freshman football coach for 3 years. And this offseason, I was asked to do it, to go back and help out there. So I decided to do that. And part of it is time commitment with both my kids, one being in junior high and one is in our 5th and 6th grade middle school. It made a little sense, not only to help the program out, but to help me. And with this time commitment, there's a little bit more time being a freshman football coach. Practices end a little bit earlier. Fridays, I'll still be at games on Fridays doing whatever I can to help out the varsity program. Saturdays also are a little more available. Although my wife said, you'll probably find some way to fill that up as well, which I already have. I'm thinking about doing some volunteer stuff with the football team. They just don't know it yet, except for the 1 or 2 that are watching currently. But so I'm thinking about doing some stuff on Saturdays, and so my wife is partially correct that that was the case. I think it just works out for everyone. The freshman team is covered, and I get a little bit of time back to help out with whatever other activities we have going on. So, number 1. Number 2, collaborate. Last time I was the head freshman football coach, which was 7 years ago, it was me and another coach. And I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot, especially with 2 coaches. There's a lot you have to have your practices. They got to be structured now, but they got to be even more structured when there's only 2 of you to be able to do anything. This go around, I have volunteer coaches that are very helpful. It's very nice to be able to split everything up, having a defensive coordinator to take basically half the practice, and I plan the other half for the offense. It's nice having that little bit of breathing room to go to think about whatever I need to think about for offense, or if I'm second or if I'm first. I do all my stuff, do all the offense, run the offensive practice, and then I'm able to, if there's administrative things I have to do, I can take care of those the second half of practice as well. Now, obviously, I'm going to be out there for most of the time anyway, but having more coaches really frees me up to, help the defense over here, or help this position group on offense, or maybe I'm with the quarterbacks and now I put the quarterbacks with the receivers and I can go help the offensive line and the tight ends. So it kind of frees me up a little bit more, and it gives the kids more individual time, which is always great too. We want to, that's where we build those skills and build those, tiny little things that we got to fix is in the individual period. So when we do get the group and we get the team, they're more, they've gone over the things that we need to go over, and we can concentrate on putting the whole play together. So having more coaches is great to be part of the program, part of the freshman team, and helps spread the wealth, not only for me, but again, to help. It really helps the kids, and I'm glad we're able to do that for them. So number 3, learning curve. One thing I forgot about coaching freshman football, because I was on the varsity for 6 years, is how big of a jump it is from 8th grade to freshman. And not necessarily the physicality. I think that's a slow build, and then varsity, it's kind of crescendos there. But the learning curve, as far as learning plays, how to line up, how to run through pass plays, how the receivers, where they're supposed to go, how to make cuts, all that stuff. There's a learning curve with that, and I forgot it. I can get frustrated pretty quickly, but then realizing like, oh man, this isn't the varsity, this is the freshman. Everything has to just be slowed down a little bit. I got to slow down. The other coaches have to slow down so they understand what they are doing, what the players are doing. I think that's where the individual periods come into play too, is when you can take 15 minutes and walk through this one play, or walk through how you're lining up, or your stance, or your start, or any of that stuff. You have time for that, and we can slow it down. And I got to think of that, because freshman football is going to be freshman football for eternity. They're always going to be freshmen, and I have to understand that, or just remember that, like, hey, there's a little bit of a learning curve here. I got to slow myself down. I can't expect too much out of these guys. And after going through football camp last week, it kind of helped me realize that again. Like, yeah, let's slow this down. We did put a lot of stuff in, but now come two-a-days, when we start two-a-days next week, we get to start all over, slow it down, kind of really go through these things step by step. So come our first scrimmage, we can really, really like go forward and see, like, here, we took all this time. Now let's put this out there. I do have a comment from my friend Evan. I have the same issue going from varsity basketball to 8th grade AAU. Got to remember, they are just babies. They don't know anything yet. Yeah, very, very much so. It's funny because I learned it right away. Like the first day, it reminded me, like, oh yeah, like let's slow down here. It was shocking to me. I was frustrated, and I came in from practice and was talking to our varsity head coach, and like, yeah, this is a me problem. This is definitely a me problem, and not the team. The team is acting how they should. They're playing how they should, and I need to focus myself. Thanks, Evan. Number 4, building relationships. A thing I always talk about building relationships in any level, any sport that I do, but I forgot how important that is as the head coach. I want to build relationship with these guys, and I guess having the individual time is good for them to learn all that stuff, and then it helps me get to them when they're in their group. I can walk around if I'm not coaching the quarterbacks or running backs, and I can walk to these groups and talk to them and build relationships with them and understand what they're going through and help them with any football issues that they're having, and just be that other coach, that if they're listening to their offensive line coach, then I can go over there and listen to what's going on. If they have another question while they're working with somebody else, I can help with that as well. But I forgot how important that is, and not only for them, but for me. Like, I like that part of it, and I want them to be able to trust me that I know what I'm doing, and they know, like, every coach doesn't know everything all the time, but I want them to be able to trust me, build that trust. So in a game, when I am saying something or calling a play or we're in a timeout, they're listening and they trust that I'm going to put them in the right position to succeed, and not only me, but the other coaches too. And we're going to do everything we can to help them succeed on and off the field. And building relationships obviously goes a long way in doing that. And being the head coach, they look at you. That I don't think the team or even the coaches are looking for that relationship aspect, but that just happens. That just comes with being out there every day, talking to them, having conversations not only about football but about school and life and video games or whatever, but just having those little 30-second chit chats every once in a while. So it's definitely something I really enjoy. Is if you're a longtime listener of this podcast, of either the things I learned or the big show, then you have heard me talk about building relationships before. So number 5, fun. I forgot how fun, and I think there is a theme in here of just like forgetting all these things, because again, I was the freshman coach, but I forgot how fun like calling offenses and being in charge and being the head guy on this football team. It's so much fun, and we had a 7-on-7 last week, and it was great to like after a week of camp for 3 hours a day, and then we ended it with a 7-on-7 against Eastwood to go out there and to show like, hey, here's what we've been practicing. Let's go do it against another team. And it was cool to watch them succeed. And, whether it's a bad pass or a great pass, or they caught it or dropped it or ran the wrong route or did exactly what they're supposed to do, we're out there doing it against somebody else, playing against somebody else. And it just makes it that much more fun when you're competing. And everyone knows this 7-on-7 doesn't really it's not something that matters in the grand scheme of things. But right now it mattered for us because we have not done that all summer. So leading up to 2-a-days, to be able to get one of those and to feel like, yeah, okay, did you guys have fun? This is what football is supposed to be. Yeah, yes, you got to compete. It's hard work and all that stuff, but here's the fun part of it. And to see them get excited about an interception or a pass breakup or whatever, that's the fun part. That's exciting for me. And it's only going to get better as the season starts with 2-a-days, and we get a scrimmage or two, and then our first game, and before we know it, it's going to be the last game, and we're done. So it's one of those things I try to remind them, let's have fun this whole time we're working. Let's have fun along the way, and you don't have to say it. I don't have to say it all the time. Is if I'm creating this atmosphere, if the other coaches and myself are creating this atmosphere for them to have fun in and be able to be themselves, and it doesn't have to be this rigid practice for 2 hours where people are, no one's laughing and everyone's mad or whatever. So we got to make this thing fun. And I have fun. I have fun out there, and it's fun to be back as the head freshman football coach. And I'm looking forward to a great season. And like I said, our first 7-on-7 was fun. These practices have been fun, and 2-a-days will be their own type of fun, but they'll be fun nonetheless. So I'm looking forward to those popsicles and watermelon during our breaks. So that was number 5, fun. That was the 5 things I learned, freshman football edition. I'm looking forward to a great season and probably more of these, more football talk as season goes. It's just, that's what's in my brain during this time is football, because that's what I'm doing. So there'll be more of that. So hopefully it doesn't bore some of the listeners, but I'll probably have players on the big show and maybe a few more of these things I learned. But I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, if you want to be on Things I Learned, or you want to tell me the things that you learned, just email thenerdballpodcast@gmail.com. My oven is now preheated. I should probably go and put my French fries in for dinner. So, hello, Isaac. Thanks for watching the podcast. So I appreciate everyone for listening. Anybody in the live who watched or commented, appreciate that. This has been, if I don't do one of these in a while, I always forget how I end it. So I think it's, I love you, and always keep learning.
Dear Jane, chances are you won't find the time to read this or respond, but I just want